road in the KTM Duke, the 390, guys, and I just got to tell you, you know, this might be a small bike for Westerners, you know, for people from Europe, Australia, America. It's a beginner bike, but out here in Thailand, this is a big bike, and it's definitely got a huge amount to offer on these roads. And honestly, even on, you know, as a city runaround, this thing would be extremely fun. So let's just basically go over what this thing is. It's the KTM. It's got a 373cc engine. It puts out about 32 kilowatts, about 35 Newton meters, 1 gear down, 5 up, and it operates really quite intuitively. You know, you've got this digital gauge cluster, which, you know, works well. It tells you what gear you're in, speed, everything you'd want. And then all your hand controls, quite easy. Visibility is quite easy. It will take you a second to get used to riding this thing though, because it is a very aggressive seating position. You really are hugging the tank. It's a 10-liter tank here. This one's got an aftermarket exhaust that sounds awesome. Brakes seem to pull up pretty well. Yeah. This is what you want from just a fun little nimble bike in the Street Fighter style here. Yeah, this thing is good, guys. Now just quickly, guys, we are out here at Custom Garage Rentals in Phuket. So we're just south of Patong. These guys have loaned us these bikes today to show you guys, and if you're ever on the island, you want to hire a big bike, check them out, because they've got a treasure trove in the back here, tons of bikes to choose from. We'll leave a link for them in the description, so make sure you check them out. Yeah, massive thanks to those guys. Now the top speed on this bike, guys, they claim it at 160 kilometers per hour, so about 100 miles an hour. And honestly, I wouldn't probably want to do that on this bike anyways. But I have to say, anything under 100 Ks an hour, anything under 60 mile an hour, like this thing feels responsive. It feels very much quick enough. And it's just a fun, playful bike that you can really toss around. The seating position, again, is just so forward. You know, we are really, it's like we're lining up on a motocross grid here, ready to launch. So, you know, elbows are up. You're very much just 45 degrees leaned over this front end, this tank. But some people will love that. You know, it's very aggressive. It's very fun. But as a cruiser, probably not what you're going to want to have as a fun Sunday cruise bike. I'm really impressed though, considering it's not dual discs at the front. It's got a big single front brake disc. It pulls up pretty well, this thing. You know, it only weighs 150 kilos, so again, you can really toss this thing around. It's easy to kind of lift the back end up, move it around where you want to, shuffle it. 0 to 100 is claimed at 5.5 seconds, guys. Unfortunately, on these Thai roads, I'm not going to attempt it. Because, yeah, there is a limit to the road rules here, and definitely a limit to what speed I'm comfortable doing. Again, just turning around on this thing, very easy. Very aggressive, the gears here, you know, they just bite instantly. They're very low end. And this thing, I gotta say, you know, this thing will do monos all day if you want it to, because it's this thing's aggressive. It's just that seating position, you're right up on the tank. But I have to say, you know, again, when you guys are in Thailand, you're in an Asian country, this is really a super bike for them, because the roads here, they're all under 100 Ks. You know, they're all tight, they're nimbly, lots of corners, lots of traffic, just nipping around. And this is exactly suited for that. It is 100% is. I feel like this is almost a cross between a dirt bike and like a fun sport bike. The seating position just really reminds me of a dirt bike, but this thing actually, it does go, you know, for 373 cc's. It definitely still moves this thing. And you will hit limiter. The bike redline's at about, you know, 10,000 RPM here. It will hit it. And yeah, this is just a riot to drive. So we passed the tourists on the quad bikes. You gotta love Thailand, I tell you guys. Get on them brakes. The thing that scares me about this bike is I feel like the rear end has got a bit of a mind of its own, because all of the weight is really up front, and you got to be gentle how much lean and throttle you give this bike. But I would say this is a beginner to intermediate bike. You know, if somebody's never driven a motorcycle before, I would say this is probably a little bit intimidating. But if you've been on a couple of bikes before, ridden dirt bikes at least, this will be familiar very quickly. Especially with that exhaust. Yeah, look, all up guys, I don't have many complaints for this thing. It's a small bike. You know, probably my biggest complaint with this thing is a bit expensive. You know, it's KTM here, so KTMs are never cheap. They are built well, they ride really well. The bike looks phenomenal, I think. I love that Street Fighter look to it. And it definitely performs, there's no doubt about it. You know, you can actually get these in more of a street bike design as well, with the fairings, if you like that look better. But personally for me, this is probably what I would get, because you're not about high speed in this bike. This bike is all about nipping through tight streets, you know, on a slower, windy back road. You know, take this thing to 100 Ks an hour and you feel like you are flying. So it's a lot of fun, this bike. Definitely not going to impress people who are, you know, pros, but for a beginner slash early intermediate bike, this is an awesome bit of kit. And especially for somebody who is visiting Asia, or, you know, or in Thailand, you're visiting the boys at Custom Garage here in Phuket to take a bike out, I would probably urge you guys to initially get the Duke or something smaller before you go to the 650s, the 800s, you know, the Harleys that they even got up there, which unfortunately were booked out today. I wanted to get on the Sportster 48, but next time I come visit. They've got a great selection. Good group of guys that run it. They're very friendly, easy to communicate with, and the prices are reasonable, really are. What the fuck is this guy doing? Mate. Thailand, I tell ya, there's no rules here, mate. It's just full send. EMS just coming on the blind corner. But have a look at this view, guys, you know. This is what Thailand's about. Just the beautiful jungle, the ocean, and hopping on one of these beautiful machines, you know. Honestly, I can't stress it enough. Sometimes it might scare you guys riding in a foreign country or riding especially in Asia where the road rules are very limited. As long as you're confident enough to drive, it's an experience like no other. And be cautious, don't be stupid. You'll be safe. You know, use your head, common sense. You will keep alive. But yeah, guys, that's it for this review. This bike, what else can I say? It's extremely fun, easy to ride. Everything works as it should. You know, it handles well. It's aggressive. The sound, the looks, the seating position, even just the gearing here. You know, it really gets up and goes quick. But that's what you want. You know, somebody looking at this bike wants an aggressive, fun bike, and this is exactly what it is. So I like it. It's worth a test ride if you guys are thinking about one. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you're new here. And we'll see you on that next video. Take care.